Right, where are we? This is it, baby. So you start the day with lots of colourful ladies doing their washing. We walk down the road and see what we can find today. Still passengers on the back, thinking, seems a bit delayed. Don't forget. Just remember. Let's go down here, shall we? See what we can find. Streets can be a little bit dirty, to say the least. That sounds and looks very much like a little school to me. So yeah, we're just going to take a walk through Dakar and see what we can find, and see if we can work out a bit more about this place. Here's a few things I do know. Let's start with those. Dakar is the westernmost point of Africa, and it's a city here in Senegal, the capital of Senegal, and the population is 1.5 million, which for African capital cities is pretty low. Hello mate, how you doing? Ça va, ça va. They speak French, unfortunately I don't. All right dude. And they're mega friendly. It's all bustling away. Let's have a look at what we can find. Got your local beautician supply place there, / chemist. There's your laundrette. Beautiful. I mean, the main laundrette is the ladies doing washing by hand that you saw earlier. But it's just a little spot for lunch there. Organise yourself. An egg bap. I had a kebab on the street last night. Questionable meat. And then as I walked down the road, I saw about 10 goats tucking into some garbage cans, and I thought, that's probably why the meat's a bit dodgy. It's January, it's vegan month. I think I'm going that way. So I don't really know where I'm going. I'm just going to take a little walk around and see if I can work out the lay of the land. Senegal has, not for Africa, it hasn't got that many natural resources. And as with, oh, there's a hell of a mosque. Wow. Yeah, and as with the rest of Africa, unfortunately any natural resources that it has got have been somewhat swiftly taken away by various colonial powers over the years. This one had a particularly hard time actually. The French had been here, hence the language. The Brits were here, the Portuguese were here, the Dutch were here, all taking stuff away to make their buildings glorious in Paris and Lisbon and London and Amsterdam, you name it. So yeah, they've had a bit of a hard trot, and of course slavery hasn't helped. For 300 years us white people thought it was perfectly acceptable to get people, round them up on a boat and send them to the Americas. Apparently that seemed to be something that was culturally acceptable. And it's hard to even talk about that without feeling quite heartbroken about just how disgusting it was. So maybe we won't. Let's just keep it light. But all this to say, there's a reason this country is not gleaming with brand new buildings from all the wealth that's over the years been building up. It just hasn't. Ça va? I need a spot of breakfast. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this yet. Oh yeah. Ça va? How you doing? Yeah, beef kebabs. Is it goat or beef? Ah. Okay. Bit later. 1,000 for meat in a baguette. The baguette obviously from the French influence. The meat is probably goat. I don't know why I said beef. It probably isn't actually. I haven't seen a cow for a long time. But goat in a bap, 1,000. So that's about €1.50 by comparison. and that'll keep you going for most of the day, if you can handle it. My little pretentious, painful, overlooked after belly can't actually handle it, so I'll probably give it a miss. After I did try it last night, and woo, rough as toast. And already I've managed to, pretty much accidentally, find the beach. And as I said earlier, this is the westernmost point in Africa, so in theory, if you were to just get on a boat and go directly straight ahead past this slightly communist looking monument, even though it wasn't communist, you will end up in Honduras, Nicaragua, that kind of thing. That's where we are. And you'd have a bloody long ride to get there. In the distance, you might be able to see, if you can, I'm not sure you can see that, but in the very distance you can see an island. That's the last piece of land before the Americas. And that is where they have a slave castle, one of many across the western coast of Africa. By the way, this is amazing. It's 30, maybe 31 degrees. Fur-lined hood, just in case you get a bit nippy. But yeah, so that the colonies always used to round up their slaves over there before sending them off on their voyage to a new life, and that's being fairly generous. But yeah, I think we'll get back into the height of action in town and see what else we can find. This is the door of no return, and the reason there was no return because once you're out of this door, you're on your way to the Caribbean or the Americas. Out you come. There'll be a big ship waiting here for you to take you to a new life. And if you try to jump in the water, that's exactly where the sharks would be. There were sharks that learned that when sick people became sick, they were just thrown over the side. So the sharks used to hang out waiting. So if you weren't shot with firearms, you'd be eaten by a shark. And of course your living conditions before you got on that boat were as bad as can be. If you were lucky enough to get a window. That would be something, but generally speaking, there was quite often no windows, and sometimes up to 20, 25 people to a room. And why? Because you could sell people.
These are from Burkina, Niger. These are from Ghana. These are from Lac Rose. These are from Desert Sahara. This one is from mangrove. This one is from Mamelier in Dakar.
Mixing the sap from a baobab tree, and then he's going to add all this to a piece of wood, and then it's sound o'clock. Whoa, totally amazing. Totally amazing. You got these colourful trucks that like to try and kill you. All right, mate. They're the sort of city buses. They just get moving when you're ready, really. So as soon as you jump on there and you have enough people, it'll go, and then a dude comes around and collects the cash. Just give them what you think it's worth. Don't even have the conversation. They usually seem to be fine with that. So this is a Dakar roundabout coming up, and you haven't seen swift efficiency until you've seen a Dakar roundabout. Yes, much like the plumbing, which is often overground as below, this is the beauty that is organised chaos. Now, for you North Americans that have already dismissed the idea of a roundabout, stop it. They are functional and excellent and have proven to be the safest way and most manageable for many kinds of intersection. So there's nothing wrong with a roundabout. There are always a few problems when you have that. Always going to be a bit of an issue. That is a common sight, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I like though? Still passengers on the back. Still thinking, seems a bit delayed. Yeah, that's jacked up. They're just chatting. Just chatting, getting on with the world. I love it. I absolutely love it. That's why I come to these places. Then went off to find the appropriate wheel. All right, Sava, how you doing? Can't see it. By the way, not knowing French is a little bit of a bonus in some ways. I love a chat, as you know, absolutely love a chat. But there are times that not being able to have a conversation is quite good. When, for example, someone's trying to sell you a windscreen wiper. So this is coming into the sort of Mechanicsville. It feels a bit Mad Maxy in some places, but if you go down there, and partly the roads around us, it's all things automotive. Let's go and have a look. Crossing the road. I've got a new technique of crossing the road. Wait until someone else does it and follow them. It's the wussy's way out. All right, here we go. So this is the beginning of the world of the automotive streets, I think, because you've got the car wash here, and then as you journey down here a little bit further, you go into the area of scrap and vehicles. Here we go. All right, this bike is a bit of a fixer-upper. All right, mate. All right, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely in trouble here. Yeah, I'm not filming, buddy. Oh, he's not happy with this one. Oh, let me get in front of this smelly, polluting heap. Pollution is an issue. It's not as bad as like Delhi, for example, but it's pretty bad. You notice when you get a taxi, because obviously all the cars are absolutely, they died and come back to life 10 times. And Sabah, how you doing? Mon ami. And they're just in an absolute state. Should have been scrapped in the 1980s. And yet they're still trucking. Still in some sort of condition. Oh, this could be a place to buy a motorbike. Huh. Hang on a minute. I always like renting or buying a motorbike when I come on these trips. And this could be just a place to do it. Never mind. Let's just chat to the goats. Hey goats. Life in the street. Goats itching himself on some woodwork. That's before. Hello boys, nice. Felt like a rap video. And that was the after, then turning it into bedposts and so on. I'm sorry I don't speak any French, which it would be a lot more helpful and I could have a lot more interactions with people if I did slightly more than just a bit of crap body language. But that gives you a little flavour. Dakar is a city of 1.5 million people that is very, very friendly, very easy to travel, well, comparatively. Cheap taxis everywhere. The buses are a bit of a nightmare. And I went to the train station yesterday, which is beautiful. It was built by the French, gorgeous colonial architecture, but there are no trains running today. So I said, what about tomorrow? And he said, nope, none tomorrow. I said, what about in a week? And he goes, none in a week. And I went, how about a year? And he said, I don't think so. So that's the efficiency of the train station. Just walking a prize goat. Sometimes you forget, this isn't rural Senegal. There's not many capitals I've been to where fellas are taking goats to the slaughter in the streets. And indeed, there's goats just hanging out. It's a hell of a place. Gorgeous weather. I very much recommend coming when it's warm. And if this all gets a bit too much and gets a bit too crazy, which let's be honest, it will, then you can escape pretty easily to the beach. I've gone straight into the Eye of Sauron, but there are beautiful beach getaways that apparently are quite Western as well, where you can get cocktails and so on, if you want to run off to those when it all gets a bit much. It's worth coming here for the madness, the markets, definitely a trip to that island to learn about the slave history, and just seeing it for a couple of days, and then after that, let's be honest, you're probably going to make your way to a beach. I'm in the back of a 7 Plus. A 7 Plus is, actually I don't know why it's called a 7 Plus. It can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't know why it's called a 7 Plus. It can fit 7 people other than the driver. It's basically like a bus, but in the shape of a car. I think that's the only difference. It's oh hello. Oh, I think I just worked out why it's called a 7 Plus. Yeah. That's the Plus. Boys and chickens or goats, they don't count. Anyway, I'm going to a place called Bor, or it looks like Mbor, a bit like the Hanson Classic, but I'm going to a place called Mbor because it's got nice rivers and stuff. This is how the system works. You come to a bus station, you give a guy equivalent to 25-30 cents, he shows you to a car. That car will only leave when it's full of people, in this case 7 plus people, which I think we have now, and then off you go to your destination. Everyone pays the equivalent of about, hang on, give me a second, just under €2, and it takes you about 100 kilometres to a delta, a large delta where there's beautiful things and beaches. It's just banging back a cup of sweet Nescafe, bit of rock in the boat right now while they tie some stuff onto the roof, and then once we're all sat down, obviously with seatbelts on, we will be on our way. There's a man's groin in a woman's area. Your boundaries sort of dissipate after time. Anyway, I'll let you know when we're on the road, but it's starting. Welcome to a road trip to Mbab.
7 place.
7 plus, and there's the plus.
Yes, the voiture name is 7 place.
Aha.
I go to take 7 place. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Here we go to Bor. Did anyone put petrol in the car? Oh, it's a bone shaker. Oh, there's a nice cool breeze. When I say cool, I mean 32 degrees. I am in a place called, I can't remember, because I've had a beer. I've just come from, I'm not sure, because it's got a funny name. And I'm heading south, that I know. Start at the top bit, near Dakar, moved south. Being pushed along the river with a little outboard engine. And this is the view, mangroves. Jeez, what am I, a journalist? And as you can see, life here hasn't changed for a good few hundred years. But that is a man going the wrong way around a roundabout. And I'm pretty sure the police will be here any second to arrest him. Oh no, hang on, I've just checked and no one gives a f***. Don't forget,